Ever since I crossed the Atlantic in a rowboat, I have been aware of what an individual is capable of when he has a goal in mind. As a photographer, I have been documenting man-made problems and grievances for many years. I have experienced many tragedies, and to this day, I can't get these images out of my head. At first, I felt overwhelmed, given the many problems in our oceans. But did I need to focus on the problems when we actually need solutions? I set out to find, and indeed I found countless people out there who have made these very solutions their mission. The heroes of the sea. We are off the coast of West Africa. On the bridge of the Bob Barker, Sea Shepherd's legendary ship, we will be joining them for 3 weeks. Men and women who fight against the plundering of the seas, against illegal fishing fleets. Mile after mile, the bow with the shark's jaws, one of the legendary identifying features of the marine conservationists, makes its way through the Atlantic in search of illegal fishermen. Sea Shepherd has been working with Gabon's fishing authorities since 2016. The West African state has asked the marine conservationists for help to take up the fight against illegal fishing. The world's largest tuna reserves attract fishing fleets from around the world to the Bay of Guinea. For decades, West African nations have seen their waters plundered, depriving local fishermen of their livelihoods. Captain Adam Meyerson is a hero of the seas who has seen a lot. In 2015, he was there when Sea Shepherd chased the Japanese whaler Thunder halfway around the world for more than 100 days. The hunt ended in this bay. The poachers sank their ship to destroy all evidence.
We're doing it to help protect the oceans. That's our mission in the world, is to protect the oceans, and this is one part of it. Illegal fishing and unregulated fishing is a big problem in the world. And I think it's become a bigger problem than almost any other threat facing the oceans right now. There's just tons and tons of fish that are taken out of the ocean, and it belongs to all of us. The fish move throughout the world. The ecosystem is interdependent on every part of it.
Many Gabonese soldiers are seasick. None of them has ever been on sea duty. Garlic is supposed to help against seasickness. There are clear rules on board for everyone, including the guests. There is only vegan food, no alcohol, no cigarettes. The members of Sea Shepherd live by what they stand for.
I saw the beauty, the dolphins, the whales, the fish, the sunrises, the sunsets, but I also saw the destruction. The oil platforms, the illegal fishing, the legal fishing, the whaling, and I started hearing more stories from other sailors about what's going on with the oceans, and that sort of really struck a chord in me that something needs to be done. You know, fish stocks can collapse by 2050. Like, why aren't people doing something about this? Whales are still being killed illegally. Why aren't people doing anything about this? And then I heard about Sea Shepherd, and I think it was a match made in heaven. I applied, and yeah, here I am.
A group of dolphins accompanies us for a while. Maybe a compensation for all the horrible scenes that the crew experiences here far too often. The best place to spot illegal fishermen is up in the crow's nest. I also use it for taking pictures. Sonia practices with the team, getting into the speedboats, catching up with the ships, following them, and finally boarding them. I also prepare my equipment. When things get serious, everything has to move very quickly. We practice for the upcoming situation several times. The boarding of a fishing trawler, 2 moving ships connected only by a ladder. Boarding ships is not normally one of the tasks for soldiers stationed on land. The Sea Shepherd crew teaches them. They practice the same maneuvers over and over again. After 5 days at sea, I start to make myself useful as a fitness trainer.
Okay. What? Ready? Good. Good.
30 people make up the crew of the Bob Barker. The bridge is manned 24 hours, day and night. Then, after 10 days, things get serious. A vessel that has switched off its radar. This is suspicious and very typical. Trawlers are crossing the boundaries of fishing areas and fishing illegally in neighboring waters. The soldiers order the captain of the Chinese trawler to slow down so they can board. The soldiers board first. They're armed. A dangerous moment. They don't know what to expect. They have been inspecting the ship for hours, and by now it's dark. Alejandra and the others wait for a sign that it's safe enough to follow. They watch the ship, making sure that the crew doesn't throw any evidence overboard.
I think he's working on the cable right next to you.
Now the officers of the fishing authority go on board. The crew of the trawler is held in one area. I notice how young all the workers are. The officers measure the nets. If the meshes are too small, this is already the first indication of a crime. The vessel is slightly inside the border of the legal fishing area. So why was the radar turned off? This is also part of the routine, checking the crew's passports. What we see here completely shocks me. Suddenly, we discover a huge ray between all the dead animals. It is fighting for its life. The men on board don't seem to care. Only when the soldiers insist the animal gets a chance. The true face of mass fishing. This is what no one is supposed to see. All quite legal. A ray can live up to 20 years. Without us, this animal would have died miserably. A new day, a different ship. This time there's trouble. The captain refuses the inspection, and he doesn't want a camera crew on board.
Qu'il se calme. Qu'il se calme. Parce que moi, je peux prendre toute la journée si je suis.
C'est mass or minutes?
Faut l'expliquer.
So they are.
More or less.
They
Yes,
are
yes, yes, I
national
understand.
agency officials.
Yes.
So we are here to make their work visible. They make reports, they put quotas in their reports to the government. That's where we are.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay? No
Okay.
problem.
Okay, no problem. Possible start, sir.
Maintenant, on va commencer à travailler.
Adis routinely checks the location using the GPS data, because these parameters can also be manipulated.
We document and take pictures about everything that we do, every action, but also the crew so that the public can see what we're doing out here. Being part of the media team is actually being part of one of our most important weapons. I think that having proof of everything that happens out in the ocean is very important because what happens out here, nobody gets to see it. If we don't document it, it doesn't get out there. And if it doesn't get out there, people are not informed, we don't get support. So it's very important, and people have a right to know what happens even in places where they don't have access to.
In front of us, a huge trawler hunting for tuna. A gigantic fish factory. The cooling tanks hold up to 2,000 tons. The nets span 2 kilometers and go down more than 100 meters. They take all life out of the ocean. No one can escape. Even dolphins, whales, and turtles are caught. This fishing method is called Seine fishing. I want to show how brutal it is. To do this, I have to get into the net with my camera, and it's being hauled in right now. The desperate struggle of the fish fighting for their lives. Deafening. Unforgettable. This is also part of the industrial raids on our seas. Fish aggregating devices, FADs for short. These are floating bodies with a tracking device designed to attract fish. Alejandra tracked down one of these FADs. Fishermen have attached ballast and flotsam to it to suggest protection for smaller animals, which in turn attract larger fish like the coveted tuna. We use our crane to pull it on deck. A frustrating task. The world's oceans are now flooded with an estimated 100,000 of these FADs. Michelle and I cut up the nets. They'll be recycled. It feels good.
So you chop it into pieces.
Yeah, so roughly from where one bamboo plank was to the next bamboo, we're going to chop it into those sections.
Okay.
So then it's easier to bag up.
Great.
It's not going to take up too much space.
Okay, cool. Actually, it feels really good to cut those pieces. And it's one little step to help our oceans, which is great. So, yeah.
During many years of diving, I've gotten a vivid picture of what we are destroying and how rapidly it's happening. The beauty of nature, the fascination of the world underwater. But I realize it is not enough to capture the beauty in photos. We have to preserve it. What we need are solutions. People who do something, who make a difference. But to find them, I need support and money. That's why I attend countless events, make speeches, and give interviews. Then I got the idea, a crowdfunding campaign. Not just friends, but complete strangers support me. In the end, we collected 100,000 euros from 395 people. Money that I can use to finance the next expeditions.
Der hier ist natürlich besonders, ne?
Der Anglerfisch, oder?
Tiefsee-Anglerfisch, genau.
Großartig,
Ja, das ist ein Weibchen, ne? Nur die sind groß genug. Dann tut sie die Angel nach vorne, macht Licht an. Dann kommen noch die kleinen Fische.
My first trip takes me to Mojib Latif. He is one of Europe's best-known climate experts and an oceanographer. For more than 30 years, he has been fighting for the oceans as a scientist and book author. And he can still get excited about small fish. The Helmholtz Center for Ocean Research in Kiel is an important contact point. Here it is not about the wishes of a few social romantics, but about the survival of mankind.
Wir schädigen die Ozeane in vielerlei Hinsicht und wenn wir so weitermachen wie bisher, dann werden wir von den Ozeanen kaum noch profitieren können und dann sieht es für die Menschheit ziemlich schlecht aus. Ich will nur ein Beispiel nennen. Die Ozeane sind ein Grundpfeiler der Welternährung. Und wenn in den Ozeanen etwas wegbricht, wenn die Ökosysteme kippen, dann wird es natürlich auch keinen kommerziellen Fischfang mehr geben. Und dann haben wir ein Problem, was den Hunger auf dieser Welt angeht.
Mojib Latif is not a fighter on the high seas. He fights with facts. He has already published over a dozen books. Warnings to humanity.
Warum die Ozeane so extrem unter dem Klimawandel leiden. Zum einen nehmen sie sehr viel Wärme auf, das dämpft die Erwärmung auf der Erdoberfläche, aber schädigt natürlich auch die Ökosysteme. Korallen, tropische Korallen, haben keine große Temperaturtoleranz, wie wir sagen. Das heißt, sie können keine großen Erwärmungen vertragen. Und wir sehen, dass es heute immer häufiger zur sogenannten Korallenbleiche kommt. Die Korallen leben in Symbiose mit kleinen Algen, die verleihen ihnen diese tollen Farben und sind letzten Endes auch der Energielieferant für die Korallen. Wenn es aber zu warm wird, fangen diese Algen an, Giftstoffe zu produzieren und dann bleiben den Korallen bleibt nur noch die Möglichkeit, die Algen abzustoßen, und damit begehen sie gewissermaßen Selbstmord.
In Paradise, of all places, we experienced this suicide firsthand. We traveled to the Koh Phi Phi Islands in Thailand. Maya Bay filmed from above with our drone. The Hollywood blockbuster The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio made this beach world famous and a tourist attraction. Today, the region is struggling to survive. In the harbor of Tonsai, mass tourism. Once again, my friends will accompany me. Michael Schinner and Katrin Eigendorf will record our experiences with the camera. We have arranged to meet Andrew Hewett. He is British and emigrated to Thailand 20 years ago. Now he fights for the paradise that has become his home. Almost 80% of the coral reefs here are already dead.
We have to, every few months we do a clean-up at the end of the pier. Yeah, because they use this spot to take all the rubbish off the island. So all the cargo boats come in.
Andrew wants to show me the extent of this catastrophe on a dive.
So yeah, it's a lot of work down there.
As much as I enjoy meeting this octopus, as a longtime diver, I am shocked by the sight of the dead coral below me. Gray and lifeless, already covered in places by a thick layer of algae.
The temperature of the water went up by 2 degrees in some places, even more. And it only takes a very small change in the water temperature for the coral to get affected, and then it starts to bleach.
But there are also healthy corals here. In a nearby nature reserve, where diving has been prohibited for years, the corals were able to recover. Acting instead of talking. That's important to Andrew. Once a week, he gathers volunteers on his diving school boat. For his special project, he plants new corals. I am about to experience for myself just how tedious that is.
We have 2 brushes and we have the big brush. So with the big brushes, we want to clean as quickly as possible on the surface. Now, there's a tendency for people to work really, really slowly. We have one dive to get everything done, whereas you get these. You've seen these big ones like this. They may take 10 years just to get this big. So we prefer to go with something which is more educational and showing people the results of what we do. Okay. And so they brought this idea of creating a floating nursery so that they can give a controlled environment to grow corals, to get them bigger until they're at a size where they can look after themselves, away from the predators. So by having it off the bottom, it means that animals like parrotfish or triggerfish that would normally be lying around on the bottom down here, and now they're in a protected area.
We will clean the coral seedlings today with our toothbrushes. We are getting ready for the first dive to the coral nursery. Everyone on board is an experienced diver, participating voluntarily.
Are we all ready?
At a depth of 15 meters, we see huge concrete foundations, the future reef, on which the corals will later be settled. Right next to it are the seedlings. Andrew measures their growth to be able to draw conclusions for his work later. Cleaning corals from algae is tedious precision work underwater. Andrew can only use experienced divers for this. How long will it take for healthy reefs to emerge here again?
If the conditions are right, corals will grow, but they grow really, really slowly. Now, the ones we have are very fast growing. They grow only 3 to 5 millimeters a month. So you imagine some of those really big, massive coral species that you see down there, they can be 400 or 500 years old, but they only take a matter of months to actually die. So unless some people really make a very, very big effort, and that's not just a few people, I mean a lot of people, then it would be hard to catch up and reverse the cycle that we're into right now.
It's not the first time that Andrew lends a hand. When the tsunami devastated the island in 2004, he spent months rebuilding the destroyed infrastructure. Where does he get the patience and strength for his fight for the corals? I ask him.
It does feel like I'm chasing my own tail, but I think overall more and more people notice the work, and more people find themselves asking questions. They're asking, why should we look after coral reefs? What is that person doing there?
So it's about awareness, knowledge.
Absolutely. My project, or the one I'm helping to manage, is not about trying to repopulate the corals on the reef there, because to do that I just don't have the resources or the manpower or the money to do that. That would take I would need to have millions of fragments of coral to do that. Okay. Whereas I'm working on maybe 2,000 corals a year. This is actually helping people more to consider the way they treat the coral reef. And now people in the local community now are more aware of that, and that's also sent the message to people that might be inclined to throw anchors in. Now they're less inclined to throw anchors in. It means we set up safety, secure areas where they can't go in with the boats. So this is expanding
step by step
the changes in the way people treat the reef.
What am I learning from Andrew? I am learning that just observing the global catastrophe makes you powerless. Action gives power. Making money without destroying. The principle of sustainable tourism advocated by the pelagic fleet. The Mexican company offers divers an opportunity to see great white sharks up close, while at the same time supporting scientists in their work with the animals. It is also about changing the image of the majestic predator. The tour bus looks promising. It will take us to one of the world's hotspots for great white sharks, the island of Guadalupe. From San Diego in California, the first stop is Ensenada in Mexico. From there, an expedition ship will take us to the small island in the Pacific Ocean. Alexandra, Katherine's daughter, who lives in Los Angeles, drove us here. She doesn't like our adventure. She's worried about her mother.
Ich habe Angst vor weißen Hai.
Na, und dieser im Käfig, okay, ich zeig dir mal die worst Shark Attacks. Da war der im Käfig und wollte wieder hoch und hat das Bein abgebissen. Ja, hier, guck, der ist im Käfig.
escape or drown.
Oh, Scheiße. Das glaubt ihr nicht? Das ist echt.
Es gibt auch Leute, die werden von Kokosnüssen erschlagen.
Blut überall, überall. It's all fucked up in the head.
Well, York thinks Alexandra has seen too many scary movies, but I'm really starting to have doubts.
Guck mal, die lachen, ne?
As we only find out later, this is exactly the boat on which everything happened that we just saw in the video.
Oh ja, die sind so, die attackieren Leute und die beißen einmal in den Käfig und dann war es das. Ja, okay. Oh
Das
ja.
wird ein super Foto, wenn ihr das macht.
The tour operator invited me as a photographer to travel with them to Guadalupe. They make their money with amateur divers who want to experience special adventures underwater, mostly Americans and Mexicans. But it is not just about tourism. The whole team fights for the oceans. They want to educate people about the great white shark and protect it. That's why they're working with scientists and media teams. They get to travel for free, like me.
This storm has, well, it began as a low pressure here, it's been coming this here, and then it turned into a hurricane category 4. This hurricane is turning north and then northeast close to the island here. But we have the chance to go to the island tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, that is Saturday and Sunday. But in Sunday night, we have to come back to Ensenada because Monday morning is gonna be too close to the island. The harbor master has requested us to sign some kind of waiver from the passengers and the crew, assuming that we are taking the risk to go to the island.
It is to be a journey with unexpected obstacles. For me, the most important thing now is my equipment. Once again, I check all settings for the perfect underwater photo. I noticed that the men here on board have a really tough job. It's the fascination that drives them. They want to see the great white shark, just like all of us here. Just ahead of us is Guadalupe. The area is a biosphere reserve. Our ship, the Solmar 5, has a rare special permit to anchor here.
Okay, so it's like that, because there's a shark around.
Hast gehört? Wir sehen schon Hai. Wir hören den ersten Hai durch ein Pfeifsignal der Crew. Ja. Wenn die pfeifen, haben die einen Hai gesehen. Gehen wir mal schauen.
Lancha Carcharodón, Solmar 5 llamando, cambio. Lancha Carcharodón.
While still in Germany, I made an appointment with Mauricio Hoyos, one of the most famous shark researchers. He is on Guadalupe right now. Captain Gerardo is trying to contact him for me.
Hey Pedro, ¿qué tal? Buenos días o buenas tardes ya. Aquí tenemos un personal que quieren hacerles ahí una entrevista, pero están contando con que Mauricio anda aquí en la isla.
Pues no, Capi, mire, Mauricio llega, pues supuestamente llega el día 28, o sea, se vendría el 28, pero pues ya por las condiciones y todo eso ya no...
He told me that Mauricio was supposed to be here yesterday.
Yeah.
But he changed the schedule because of the weather conditions, and probably he's gonna be here next week.
Next week, so not...
No, and they are evacuating. As you can see, they're pulling their panga.
Yeah.
And what Mauricio ordered is that evacuate everybody from the scientific station, take them to Ensenada, and next week when
after the storm
weather comes down, they want to come back.
Okay, so they come back after the storm, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, at least we try.
Y no solo la estación que les ordenó Mauricio a llegar ayer, pero pospuso su llegada hasta la próxima semana por la tormenta.
Ja.
Pues ahorita la estación está sola, todo cerrado, asegurado. So I used to work on fishing.
Oh yeah?
I used to work on tuna fishing boats.
Okay.
And then sharks were part of the catch for us. It represented an income of money, very important for us. But since I got here, it shook my mind because I see the sea life in a different way. So I have, how do you say, certain feelings for the sea life. Yeah.
Compassion.
Yeah, not compassion. Most is respect.
Respect.
Respect, yeah.
Good.
Because after you see sharks, whale sharks, whales, mantas, dolphins in their where they live,
yeah,
you change your perspective.
That's good.
Yeah.
Natalia, who we met with the captain earlier, is also getting ready. We all want to get into the cages as long as the weather conditions still allow it.
Are you still excited when you go into the water?
Later, I would like to talk to Natalia about her research on the great white shark. There's so much I still want to know. I've been diving for 20 years now, but I don't think I've ever been so excited. Rodriguez closes the cage so the shark can't get in from above. Wow, it feels so much different than a normal dive. Everything shakes and rattles around me, and I really have to be careful with my camera not to bump it against the iron bars. And then he finally shows up.
Two different, huh?
Two different.
I saw a big one.
Yeah, very big. Ist das irre, Sabine?
Ja,
oh, riesig. So schön und friedlich. Erst habe ich gedacht, wo wir reingestiegen sind, oh je, hoffentlich kommt da was. Jetzt sitzen wir hier die ganze Stunde drin. Und mit einem Mal kommt da ein Riesenhai aus der Tiefe. Also so schön, oder?
Wunderschön.
Irre,
Vor allen Dingen,
oder?
Du hast in dem Moment, wo der bei dir vorbeischwimmt, keine Angst mehr, weil du merkst, der
Null.
ist total friedlich.
Ja.
Ne?
Ja.
Der strahlt echt so
Absolut.
richtig Frieden aus.
Ja.
Frieden, wirklich.
Total gelassen und ruhig.
Ja, total.
Nee, das war irre. Was ein Erlebnis, unfassbar.
Wahnsinn.
Unfassbar.
Und er ist so nah gewesen,
Ja.
ne? Wie nah war der?
Ja, zum
dran?
Anfassen. Wir konnten ihn
Wahnsinn, du
anfassen.
hättest ihn anfassen können.
Ja.
Irre.
Und er beobachtet einen ganz genau, mit
ja.
seinen Augen. Schaut er dich an, klack, klack, klack und dann, ja, irre.
Ja.
Natalia Tamez is a veterinarian. She watches elephant seals on the shore. They have good reason to be afraid of the sharks.
The main reason why they're here is because their favorite meal is also here on the island, which are the elephant seals. And it just coincidentally, although this is the season, the breeding season for the elephant seals. So sharks like to prey on pregnant females because they have larger body fat. So that's better for sharks. And they also like to prey on the small babies that are just born because they're learning how to swim, so they're not really quite good at avoiding sharks as are the adult ones. What impressed me the most is realizing that they have personalities, just like any other animal or any other creature. So when we are trying to tag them or taking biopsies from them, they will start playing with you around the boat, and so they will come close to you, and when you think you have them, they will swim away, and it's like they're playing with you, and you can see it. And some of them are really shy, so they'll swim away. Mostly the juveniles, but the ones that are bigger, for example, the bigger females, because they already have more experience, the bigger they are, the bigger the greater they feel. It's like they don't feel as shy as a smaller shark. So they will they're more curious and they're more playful, and they like to kind of tease you and swim away and then come back. And it's just kind of seeing how all of them are different.
How come we never see baby white sharks?
Because we don't know where they are being born. That's the thing.
Okay.
That is the biggest mystery of all. So we don't know exactly where they mate, and we don't know exactly where they give birth. So normally females, we see here in Guadalupe pregnant females, and they disappear for 2 years sometimes, and then they come back, but they're not as fat as they were before, which means they already had the babies, only we don't know where exactly.
Can you explain me why they are so important for our ecosystem in the ocean?
Well, they're very important because they play a fundamental role in keeping a balance in the ecosystem. So basically every animal and every creature in nature is very important to maintain a balance of the ecosystems. So if we took away sharks, that means we would be taking away an apex predator, which means they're on top of the food chain. So their role mainly is to prey on smaller animals to keep there from being an overpopulation.
Oh, they're already in danger, right?
Yes, they are being fished, and the worst part is, for example, here in Mexico, 90% of the times you ask for a fish taco, they will give you shark without you knowing it. So it's very important that every time you ask for fish, you always ask what kind of fish it is, because you never know if you're getting shark. There's a lot of theories and myths about sharks because they haven't been really studied. So what we're trying to do is also get the facts and start telling people, educating people especially, to tell them, well, all of those things are not true. So
When Natalia told me, I want to show with my photos. Louis throws out the bait. The first shark is cautious and shy. This one seems to be less afraid. It makes me sad to see him dragging a fishing line. I wish I could take it off. Most of the sharks here are females. Some are over 5 meters long and weigh more than 2 tons. Some of the animals have nasty scars. These are their identifying marks. They were probably caused by ships or from fights with other sharks. Their dark eyes seem to be watching me closely, face to face. Just incredibly fascinating. Later, I sit together with Rodriguez and Diego. They look at my photos and tell me the names of each shark. After so many years, they recognize all of them by their typical characteristics. On the return trip, the ship rocks so much that many of us feel sick. But I don't care. I've got the pictures I've been waiting for so long. I start another adventure to attract attention to my project Heroes of the Sea. With my friends Rainer and Andreas, we row across the Atlantic Ocean. 5,000 kilometers from Gran Canaria to Barbados. Many small strokes for a great cause, accompanied by the certainty everyone can do something.
Gibt es Szenarien, die wir erwarten, wenn wir nichts unternehmen?
Ja, absolut. Also wir greifen ja die Ozeane von vielen Seiten an, wenn ich das so sagen darf. Stichwort Plastik. Millionen Tonnen von Plastik haben sich schon in den Weltmeeren angesammelt und wir sehen es, es wird ja immer mehr auch an den Küsten angespült. Aber dieses Plastik, das wird ja mit der Zeit auch verkleinert und irgendwann wird es zu Mikroplastik, ja? Also die nur wenige Millimeter groß sind und irgendwann ist es so klein, dass es dann eben beispielsweise auch für Fische als Nahrung dienen kann. Ja, und am Ende des Tages kommt das dann bei uns auf den Tisch und das ist eben die große Bedrohung für uns Menschen, dass wir durch die schleichende Verschmutzung, es ist ja nicht nur Plastik, es sind ja viele Substanzen, die wir in die Meere einleiten, dass wir durch diese schleichende Vergiftung der Weltmeere eben auch unsere Nahrungsquellen vergiften und am Ende wird dann eben der Sünder zum Leidtragenden.
The first ones to suffer from the global catastrophe are the poor. Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Here, people live in garbage, build their huts on garbage. There's neither a sewer system nor a garbage collection system. Everything ends up in the gutter. From there, it goes into the sea. Styro River is what they call the river that runs under the garbage. It consists mostly of styrofoam and other waste. The indignity of it all, the utter helplessness, which I also feel, is revealed to me in this encounter with a family of pigs. What can still be saved here? How can one still see a perspective here? All this plastic is to become its own currency here in Haiti, just like gold. In a hotel, we meet the man who wants to solve the problems with a very unusual idea. David Katz and his team have a vision.
So much plastic leaching from these streets, from these canals, that something needs to be done here. There's no garbage bins on the side of the road. They have a canal, they have a river, they either burn it or throw it into the water. That's the opportunity here. Even the landfill that the city does maintain by sending around a truck with guys with shovels lies at the ocean's edge. They just take it from the streets and take it to the ocean.
But this is poverty. This is poverty. This is what poverty brings. We need to end poverty, and we end this. With poverty, you live in ignorance. They don't know that's oil. They have no idea that's oil.
Not only here in Haiti, but all over the world, Katz is campaigning for a new way of thinking. Plastic waste consists of raw oil, making it a valuable source of energy. As I walk across the peninsula, sinking again and again into the stinking cesspool, I realize how urgently we need to act. Katz talks about social plastic. He is promoting this idea in the boardrooms of large companies.
Every pollutant imaginable is in this. And then people ask why Haiti as well. Like, look where we are. Why would you not be in the consideration of the Atlantic, of the Caribbean? You know, it's lost on the global scale. It's so forgotten. The people are so forgotten. You know, it's around the corner to Miami.
We're in the Caribbean. The vacation paradise of the Dominican Republic is only 50 kilometers from here.
And this is an accumulation of plastic. This is an accumulation of time. This landmass extends hundreds of meters as a result of waste flowing. I'm asked, why am I here? Why? I'll look around. How could you not want to be a part of a solution here? I mean, you have to be inhuman to come here and not want to be in some part, some change.
Richardson Gustav has worked on the plastic bank for years. It is Saturday afternoon. He wants to pick up the plastic bottles from one of his collectors. Richardson has been there from the very beginning. He is respected among the plastic collectors.
Those are my collected plastics right there. We have some on the other side. I don't know. The river is kind of high, so the crossing is kind of difficult. Yeah. The reason I'm really involved with picking up the plastic is because the collectors feel much more secure with what they're doing when they see someone in charge gets involved with picking up and indulging, talking to them and making sure that they're okay. Over here, as you can see where the smokes are, this is where all the garbage get dumped from, okay?
Richardson was born in Haiti and raised in the United States. When Haiti was largely destroyed by a massive earthquake in 2010, he came back. He wanted to help rebuild his country and stayed. On his weekends off, Richardson personally picks up the plastic. This is how he is able to motivate people. Payment alone is not enough. The bank must ensure that the supply chain is stable, a prerequisite for making social plastic profitable. A solution for the future? Canel Dorica lives with his family next to the garbage dump. For him, collecting is worthwhile, also because his yield is picked up. Canel receives the equivalent of €6 today, wage for 2 days' work. That's not much, even for Haiti.
Baba. Baba. Baba.
Canel is proud of his daughters. He wants them to look good. He sewed their clothes for them. This 60-year-old man is a trained tailor.
He's been living here for 6 years. Comment sentir avec moun yo k'ap jete fatra tout en face ou?
Bon, jete yo pa empêcher. Parce que au boulel, pour finir au boulel.
Although the water in the river is high, we cross anyway. It is hot and stinks. Smoke burns in our eyes. A bitter taste settles in the throat. I feel like I'm in an apocalyptic movie. The garbage collectors do not want to be filmed. They are ashamed. Canel tries to reassure them. He knows this feeling.
Oui, il faut réfléchir parce que ça te fait ça, je ne vais pas faire l'autre côté. C'est que là seulement. Et si mon famille il y a qui connaît, mais pas qui connaît.
Pour qui ça vous pensez que c'est un problème?
Bon, c'est pas comme si vous pensez sans problème, non. On connaît la famille haïtienne humiliant. De où à faire, ils reconnaissent tout.
Qui j'en sens parce que mon yo a bon problème de lui-même.
Bon, bah ça, ça va longtemps. Ça va ébranler encore.
The plastic bank has created a category of material, social plastic. It's not virgin plastic or recycled plastic. It's a material whose value is transferred through lives, the rich and poor. So that social plastic, as it's collected, certainly that value is transferred through the lives of the world's poor and those areas that are the greatest contributors to ocean plastic. It is also transferred through the lives of the people who encounter it in the north. Buy a bottle of shampoo or laundry detergent and you are collecting directly with the world, prohibiting the flow of plastic from entering the ocean. That value is as well transferring through your life. You get to now be a steward of the environment simply by being a consumer. And that changes behavior. There's a direct correlation into the habit that you take. Make it easy for people to be environmental stewards, and they choose to be.
Richardson takes the plastic waste to one of Port-au-Prince's 12 recycling centers. Here, everything is weighed and recorded. Later, they will be turned into shampoo bottles. The plastic bank has been able to attract major companies to its business idea worldwide. The Women's Center is financially supported by an international corporation. Denise is the manager in the Guadalupe district. She has been working for the bank here for a long time, and it has paid off.
Bon, je me sens mal à l'aise. Et le plastique pour tout. Ils font pile bail pour nous, ils ba nous lumière, les soirs pour tout le monde étudier. Bon bagay.
To me, this project means life because it brings another light into our community. It brings another light into the families that we get involved with. It brings life into everyone. So to me, this project means life. It means to live. It means to dream. It means to love. It means to everything, you know? So that's why we put our everything in it to try to get everyone to get involved in this project, to see how we can get people to just recycle the plastic and keep it from going into the ocean, keep it from going into our streets, into our streams, and you know, just try to live to see a better world, you know?
We are in Cité Soleil.
Every floor is a load, and every load is 25 goods, so for your $2,
Merci. Merci. Oui.
Almost 500,000 people live here, in one of the largest slums in the world.
The consumer has never been more powerful than they are today. You carry the knowledge of the universe in your hand and your smartphone. You can communicate with anyone globally, en masse, with a tweet, with characters, with presses of a button. You can make change. So why would you be sitting here and even watching this when you could be making change, when you could be creating a platform for your other friends as well to make a voice? This is everyone's responsibility. The plastic bank is just the conduit for that change. We can't do it ourselves. This will only occur when everyone works together.
Hey, David, those are the sachet bags, right?
This is the sachet material. This is a low-density polyethylene, and much of this, although much of it is coming from as an industrial waste, even the industry here in Port-au-Prince have no solid waste, so they'll take this and dump it in the streets. This is polyethylene terrahydrate. This is the PET. The cap itself most often is a polypropylene, more of a rigid material it needs to be, and non-porous, so that the gas doesn't escape.
Oh, okay.
So multi-material, right? So and then this label is as well a different, sometimes even a PVC, a polyvinyl carbonate, I think it's called. And so every material type, this is actually probably even more valuable than the bottle itself, which is why we try to encourage the removal of caps and rings. There's a blue tint in this, so this can only now become something blue again, right? So we need to continue to petition the makers of this water brand to go to natural. But you can see that blue is the name, and so to have a blue bottle, it's marketing. We are where we are today because of marketing. Henkel is interested in both PET, right? Because they've got a whole product line that has clear PET in it. Yeah. So they can take this and make it again.
For the concept of plastic bank to work, the plastic must be recycled locally, because you can't import trash into the EU, but you can import recycled plastic. The plastic bank thus creates a completely new infrastructure. This recycling factory is a startup by Haitians.
So how much is that worth?
It's a very high value material. You know, the misnomer is that the plastic bags are worthless and you can't recycle them. Look, we're here recycling plastic bags. As a finished product like this is over $1. So in this bag, 700 kilos, this is a tremendous value in the country, taking waste from the street and finding gold, finding diamonds.
The plastic bank exists to prohibit the flow of plastic from entering the ocean. We can spend all of our time to clean up the ocean, which many people want to do, and it's valiant and important. But the important work lies in prohibiting the flow to begin with. Why clean the ocean? That will be something that we'll have to do in perpetuity if we don't turn off the tap. We turn off the tap by creating a monetary incentive for the material. If every bottle was truly €5, there would be none in the ocean, we know. It's not the bottle now, it's us. It's the way we view the material. And within the plastic bank ecosystem, we create a way where that bottle now is $5 or $10, or the end of poverty, which is priceless.
At the Frère Abelard School, they learn how to deal with plastic waste as early as elementary school age. Richardson and his team are focusing on the children.
OK, pour qui ça organisation ça lui-même ça lui fait, qui ça lié? On bouteille plastique, pas vrai? Ça nous fait nous qu'on boire là-dedans, nous boire de l'eau là-dedans, pas vrai? Nous qu'on boire jus dans bouteille là, pas vrai? Là nous fin boire jus dans bouteille là, nous fin boire d'eau dans bouteille là. Qui ça nous qu'on fait avec lui nous? Ah, nous la guéli dans poubelle. Si nous au monde la caille nous à boire fin boire dans bouteille plastique et puis qu'on y a la même, li pas jeter dans la poubelle, faut que nous dire non. La rivière prend yo, li descend avec eux dans la main, et pas vrai? Et puis les poissons joignent bouteille plastique là, joignent sachet de l'eau, li dit moun la caille nous ça va. OK? Est-ce qu'il y a un monde là qui a une question, qui veut poser une question sur ça? Hein? Hein? OK. Ma petit exercice. Si moi-même, je suis une bouteille plastique, je jette dans la rue. OK? Mais jeunes gens, ça a fait une bouteille, je jette dans la rue. Nous avons une question sur ça? Je vais faire cet exercice avec nous. Les bouteilles plastique, côté pour nous jeter? La poubelle! OK. Les bouteilles plastiques, là, nous jetons dans la rue. Qui va la boucher?
Adanella, the daughter of the garbage collector Canel, is also in this class. She can only attend school because her father works for the plastic bank.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Walk forward in the stewardship of humanity and of all life and the ocean. Be expressive of the change that you want to see in the world. And know that you can either be a part of the solution or you can be a part of the pollution.
Something is happening. Environmentally conscious actions are also becoming more attractive for the economy. The Henkel company advertises that it uses social plastic to package its products, and others are following suit. The plastic bank has now won many large companies as partners all over the world. A start? But is the pace fast enough? In Europe, young people have joined forces for the first time to exert pressure. Fridays for Future is demanding radical steps. They demand an immediate halt to global warming. They demand climate justice. They also have their hero, Greta Thunberg, a young Swedish woman who is becoming the conscience of the world.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Climate change affects all of us, all around the world.
Hier sind die Delfine, unser Begrüßungskomitee von Barbados. Und das ist definitiv der letzte Sonnenuntergang für uns. Wir befinden uns 60 Kilometer vor unserem Ziel und freuen uns über diese wunderschönen Tiere, die uns willkommen heißen.
We wanted to set an example by crossing the Atlantic. We finally made it. And I think of the many heroes and heroines I've met in my travels. During my travels, I have come across so many people who are standing up for our oceans, heroes who have solutions and take action. That's why I created a database. Here they are all visible, can network together and find support. It is called Heroes of the Sea.
Wir haben eine Verantwortung auch für die nachfolgende Generation. Uns wird es nicht mehr betreffen, ja, oder kaum betreffen, aber die Gefahr besteht, dass wir jetzt, hier und heute, Dinge anstoßen, die dann später nicht mehr gestoppt werden können. Wenn man das Übel an der Wurzel packt, dann heißt es, man stößt keine Treibhausgase aus. Ja? Das wichtigste Treibhausgas ist CO2, Kohlendioxid, und das entsteht eben, wann immer wir Öl verbrennen, wenn wir Kohle verbrennen oder wenn wir Erdgas verbrennen. Ich finde, als Wissenschaftler hat man eben auch eine Verantwortung, und dieser Verantwortung muss man gerecht werden, und wenn man es nicht schafft, die Konsequenzen daraus zu ziehen, was man erforscht, dann fehlt einfach ein wichtiges Element der Wissenschaft. Und ich versuche das einfach doch noch hinzubekommen. Und ich weiß eben auch, dass Dinge ganz schnell passieren können. Die Dinge, die scheinbar aussichtslos erscheinen, können passieren.
We must act now. The oceans are the most important ecosystem on our planet. And we can only save them together. From the colorful diversity of the coral reefs that Andrew Hewett showed me in Thailand, to the schools of tuna, whose death throes I witnessed off the west coast of Africa with sea shepherd, from the giant sperm whales in the Atlantic Ocean, to the great white sharks off the coast of Mexico. Their lives are what we must stand up for, because our survival depends on it.